Yeah, cause that speed awareness course this morning. Long 2.5 hours sat there, man, bare jolly, bare gassed. I'm thinking, what's going on here, man? I'm thinking, what's happening? Thinking, how am I gonna survive this? But I lived through it, and we made it. But yeah, I made it here, which is important. So, just want to say, welcome back to another episode of the Shin Pad. I'm here, your host Abs. I'm here with my boy Will, and as you can see, there's no Temi today. Unfortunately, we are regrettably informed to let you guys know that Temi has been a victim of the strikes, the underclass strikes. We remember him in our hearts dearly, and we will try our best to honor his memory in whatever way we can. So, if you guys can, in his memory, if you did appreciate him in any way, shape, or form, if you thought that he was even remotely entertaining, then please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, comment. It means a lot to us, guys, and to help us carry on in Temi's memory and in his honor, it would definitely go a long way. So please, if you can, you definitely can. So subscribe. But yeah, apart from that, what are you saying, Will? No Premier League football this last week has been depressing, but international football has been there. I don't think I've watched a single game. I can't lie to you. But we do have the Premier League back this weekend.
Yes.
Insert crowd sound effects. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to get into it. I'm dead, as you guys can probably tell. I'm very ill, but I'm here and I'm pushing through it for you guys. Again, subscribe so that I could pay for my treatment and get better. I'm suffering from a life-threatening disease, and I would appreciate all the help. So yeah, subscribe. That's the last time. But yeah, we're here this week. What are you saying, bro? How you been feeling?
Yeah, honestly, I think I've just been taken out of the freezer, finally thawed out, ready, just to get ready, heated up for this weekend's Premier League action. And yeah, we were saying just before the pod, honestly, trying to get yourself hyped up to watch an international fixture that's not an official tournament.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
It's not. I actually really got into the latter stages of the Nations League. I like when it gets to the knockout rounds. And it was quite nice to see people take a bit more interest in it this year. Because I remember when I think Spain, Croatia played in the final a couple of years ago, I felt like no one was talking about it. France won one, I think a couple of years before that. No, I think they played Croatia in that final too, but then no one's really talking about it. But that Portugal-Spain one, such a good matchup. But then you get these kind of games and you can see the drop-off even from Nations League to what we've got. Like, watching England versus Andorra, did not have a pleasure.
Why is that? Why does that game even happen? I swear it happens like 7 times a year.
It always happens, man. Always.
It's dreadful. But anyways, done with international football. We can move on from that and move forward and get into our first segment, which is what's in your shin pad. Will, take it away, my boy. I know you've always got something special for us.
Okay, so for me, as I already said, football fanatic. I like to get involved in things, but I feel like I've been late to the party for a number of things over the years. So I tried for the first time for Euro 2020, technically 2021, obviously with the tournament being postponed. I tried to get into sticker books. I was never really in the sticker books when I was a youngster. Actually, that being said, I remember the Euro 2008. I just remember I can't remember who they partnered with. I can't remember if it was like McDonald's or something at the time, but yeah, they were giving out stickers at the time. That's when I first got a liking to it. I think from there I even got into maybe match attacks, but for the most part, I was never really a sticker person. I never understood why people love this like Panini sticker stuff, but I was like, you know what? I think I nabbed this for free from Asda or something. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll buy packs and get into it. And
it's the best way to do it, man.
Honestly, I don't have too many to actually go about showing people, but honestly, I did not get that many. It's so overpriced. You got a couple. I don't even think I got
That's
that
decent,
many.
I can't lie. It's very solid.
You say that, but mate, it feels like there's a few hundred of these.
Yeah.
And there's barely any of them filled up. But for some countries, I got a few players. I don't know. I think for England, I got Sterling like 3-4 times. Like, which is one of the things. Like, you don't get that many stickers in a pack, and then to sometimes still be getting the same player over and over. I was like, nah, I'm getting scammed.
Doing it, the EA, bro. But Nice, man. That's a good thing to have in your Shin Pad.
That's in my Shin Pad. So the other thing that accompanies it is my gripe. I think sticker books are overrated, man. I gotta say, oh my word, I'd much prefer trading cards and things like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be fair,
honestly.
like I was trying to be nice and I was saying solid, but
I know they're a big thing in America
overrated
as well. Like these like special versions of cards and stickers and stuff. But yeah, it's just not for me. It's not for me, guys. I don't think I'll be doing it for the next Euros.
But yeah, I solid in general. It's a good gripe to have. I'm thinking you've brought it full circle there, mate. But in my Shin Pad this week, again, I don't have it. I'm gonna bring one. I'm gonna bring something soon. Don't stress about that. But in my Shin Pad this week, I've got a microphone, specifically a microphone drop, because I don't know if you saw on Sky Sports, Emmanuel Dennis. For some reason, he's still at Nottingham Forest, or was still at Nottingham Forest until the end of last season. He's been at Forest, just going on loans to other teams. I've never seen him play for Forest. Did you know he was at Forest before that? Emmanuel Dennis?
Honestly, I thought he had permanently gone ages ago.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was at Forest.
But yeah,
I think when they first got promoted.
Yeah. But he just had his contract terminated, right? And so he was on Sky Sports talking about the situation. And when the interview had finished, like when they say, "All right, we'll talk to you later," or goodbye, he just stood up and left in right on camera, instead of waiting. And you know what I mean? I just thought it was hilarious. I was like, you know what? Yeah, there's no rules, bro. You should be able to stand up and leave before she even says goodbye. She just ask you a question. You should just be like, you know what? Stand up and get the hell out of there if you want to be honest, bro. But I saw that. I was like, you know what? That's quite funny.
Shout out Emmanuel Dennis, man.
Shout out Emmanuel Dennis.
That purple patch season he had
crazy
those years ago.
Yeah.
FPL dream.
It was, wasn't it? But yeah, I hope he does find a club. But yeah, that was what's in my Shin Pad. But before we get into our Gameweek 4 fixtures preview, we wanna go into some big headlines from the international break, and namely, Nottingham Forest have sacked Nuno Espirito Santo and have appointed Ange Postecoglou. What are your thoughts on that, Will?
Man, it's the moves like this that make me feel like the Premier League. Sometimes I wonder if they do it on purpose, like not literally if they do it on purpose, but just like how consistently they can always stay relevant.
Yeah.
Because this is like the kind of thing you get in a telenovela or soap opera. Like in the international break, you think everything's calm,
everything's chill. Yeah, blood.
They let go of their manager after 3 games into the season, and we all kind of saw it coming. I've spoken about it on my own channel as well. Is that I didn't think Espirito Santo was going to last long. I was even surprised he lasted to the international break.
Really?
I thought just before game week 2, I thought he was out. Or even just before game week 3, I thought he'd be out. But still there. But it just seemed like his situation there was just getting untenable. Like speaking out about the owner, in press conferences, and then the owner having no problem speaking about you publicly, or even coming onto the field, as we saw at the back end of last season. Like I hadn't seen anything like that in the Premier League before. That's the kind of stuff I'm used to seeing in like a Serie A, or dare I say in the Super League in Turkey.
Exactly. No, very true.
Like you don't see that in the Premier League, really.
A mafia boss. We've got the Premier League need to look into this. To be fair, we've got a man who is very dangerous, an at-large criminal, a man who should have a bounty on his head.
Mr. Ranakis, it's not me speaking.
Exactly.
It's not me speaking, Mr. Ranakis. Don't get me like MGW.
Joint enterprise. But yeah, I'm thinking, how is this even possible to be in this situation? But it's hilarious, and the guy's got the way he wanted, to be honest. And I think I was talking to my mates about this, and I said I wouldn't be shocked if he goes in and grabs Ange, because they're in the Europa League, and he's going to look at it and think to himself, we can win it if we grab the guy who just won it, which I don't think is
perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the best logic or if it's the worst logic. At the end of the day, it's some sort of logic. But what do you think of Ange Postecoglou and his chances now going into the Forest job?
The thing is, I rate Ange Postecoglou, but I gotta say, like, I look at his career where the Spurs job was by far his biggest selection. Not necessarily. I mean, you could argue the size of a club like Celtic, like they're a huge club, probably underrated how huge they are.
Yeah,
he was there, but that's the best team in the league when he's there already. With Tottenham, I think that was the first time he's like, okay, I'm given the platform on the biggest stage now to see what I can do. And if I'm being honest with you, his 2 seasons in the Premier League, he did not impress me. If we're talking about league football, the way he sets up his Spurs team, and and I've seen a lot of managers. They're like, you know what, if we lose, we're going to lose playing my way. They don't last long, those managers. I
No.
think Russell Martin, Southampton, he was doing that as well.
Exactly.
And you can see he got found out quite soon. Didn't last half the season. So, you know, I got to say for Ange Postecoglou, he's following a manager that just had Nottingham's best position in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know, for like nearly 3
It's
decades.
not going to be easy to follow. It's not going to be easy to follow.
And he's a manager who just won the Europa League.
Yes, and he's just set up the team, and the team is set up in a way where they're set up to be like a mid to low block. They're not going to be.
They can counter attack.
Exactly. I don't think they're going to be able to quickly adapt to Ange's style of play that we saw at Tottenham. I don't know if he's going to maybe adapt in the meantime and try and play something separate. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work.
I'd be surprised if he does.
But apparently, moving on from this situation, manager situation, apparently West Ham goalkeeper situation is looking a bit ropey at the minute.
Yeah.
And they were linked back to Fabiański, which they just released on a free. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that quickly. Yeah, absolutely insane, but crazy bit of news coming out over the international break. It's been mental, but Forest, we'll see how they get on with Ange Postecoglou, man, honestly. But yeah, we'll see how everybody gets on. Diving into our game week 4 look ahead.
Yes.
I'm so ill, guys. If you can hear me sniffling, thinking too hard, is because literally my brain is on a different planet right now. I'm nowhere near match fit, but I'm here still, unlike a certain someone. Yeah, just take that into account. All right, let me live for this week. But fuck. First game we're gonna get into: Brentford versus Chelsea. What do you think, Will?
Brentford versus Chelsea. This one, I think this is going to be good for Chelsea, where Brentford they're a mixed bag, in my opinion. I cannot tell you at this stage if they're going to be okay or not. I'm starting to think other teams are a lot worse than Brentford. So I don't think Brentford will be in a relegation scrap. But I feel like, yeah, you know, this is the first time they would have played a Prem game with the Wissa cloud now being lifted from the air.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think maybe dressing room that doesn't have that hanging over their head, maybe with a point to prove. I think, you know, we saw with Newcastle when they played against, I mean, granted, Chelsea didn't take anybody off Brentford, but we saw with Newcastle United when people had been pointing the finger at them, questioning the strength of their team without key players. They went out there, they put up a great performance against Liverpool.
Yeah.
We won't talk about their performance in the next game after, but still, I think Brentford will come against Chelsea knowing, okay, some of us are still in the squad. We have a good record against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Well, let's go over there and show what we can do. But
Definitely.
to me, even with the injuries Chelsea have, it's up to them now to just go out there and continue to perform.
Literally, I think that's the case. Cole Palmer's still not been pictured in training, even though Chelsea tried their best to hide him in all of the pictures. I've managed to spot his leg. He's got a very I don't know how to say this without it being an extremely massive pause. He's got a very identifiable body. That sounds so wrong. A very identifiable physique, outline, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna just stop digging a hole. But yeah, I spotted him in some training pictures. Cole Palmer is back, and if he is fit and training, then I expect him to start. And with him in the team, especially, I know it's away, but I feel like with Chelsea, especially the start that we had to the season in London derbies, I expect to just carry on. And I don't see where they can really harm us in any particular way. I think João Pedro will have a big game. Again, I hope Reece James starts. That would be good to see, because I feel like we'll need somebody who's got that quality to find. We saw it with England, that his ability on the ball is unbelievable, as well as off the ball. But yeah, I think Chelsea win comprehensively. I think it will be 3-1 to Chelsea. What do you think, mate?
I'm looking at being 2-1 to Chelsea. I see Chelsea winning it. I just think Brentford, honestly, you know, they whether it's home or away, honestly, they see, sometimes I just feel like they've got Chelsea's number. Like, they know how to get a goal. But the guys that usually get them the goals in those games, they're not there anymore.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing.
we'll just have to see. But I think Brentford can still score 1-2.
Sweet. Speaking of goals, a game that I expected there to be a lot of goals in, Liverpool against Burnley. Burnley at home to Liverpool on Sunday. Burnley are gonna hope to be gritty, to defend deep, to stick it out, to try and get any sort of result that they can. but it's going to be very tough against the Liverpool team that are firing on all cylinders at the minute. Goals are at no short supply from your front areas. New signing Isaac as well, who'll probably be on the bench for this game, who should get a couple of minutes, I think, at the end of the game. I'll be excited to see that. For you, for sure. What do you think, Will? Should be a quick one to get through. We shouldn't spend too much time. It's Burnley.
Yeah, I think this one, I don't see Liverpool smashing Burnley. I feel like this kind of
Really?
fixture in the middle of the season, Liverpool get. I don't, but it's just
Yeah, the
watching
beginning of the season's a
Liverpool.
bit harder, isn't it?
Yeah, there's something,
Yeah.
especially like post international break. I feel like Liverpool, international breaks, like they were okay with it last season, to an extent, but then the season before, I felt like every time they came back from international break, they were always sluggish. So with Liverpool, I'm not sure. To beat Burnley like convincingly. Isak as well. I don't think he's going to play any minutes.
Really?
He did. I think Sweden just lost their last World Cup qualifying game, but they play against a team where there's on paper they're so much better. Like, and Isak didn't even start that game. He came on for a few minutes.
On, quite late. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, I don't think he's got enough minutes in his legs. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if Slot plays him.
Really, but I thought against the
Slot
Burnley
doesn't seem-
team, 10 minutes end of the game.
He's not really like a risk taker manager. I think it's only if the scoreline is like we've been running it up.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
If it's not, I just think 2-0 Liverpool.
That's good to see. That's good. I think, I think 3-0 Liverpool. And hot take for this week, I think Wirtz gets his first goal. I think I said this before. Deja vu. I just had a little deja vu moment. I think I might have said it when they played against Arsenal. Terrible call. Actually, to be fair, he was close to getting a goal against Arsenal. He wasn't far off. He had a couple of shots on target.
Yeah, I think he's growing into that second half against Arsenal moved me a bit more. Not that he's sensational, but I just feel like he's growing into a bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
Just got a big goal, scored a beautiful free kick against Northern Ireland. In Germany's last game. So yeah, that's gonna be massive for his confidence. Yeah, I expect him to get on the ball, but I still think he's finding his feet. There's still a degree of respecting the team and how good they were before him.
100%.
But also, I feel like he knows. Like I see in the interviews, like he knows he has quality. Like I think he's just almost chomping at the bit to just get really involved and get some GNA.
I agree. And another team or a couple of teams who are probably chomping at the bit at the minute, trying to maybe rectify their start to the season. Man United against Manchester City. We've got a Manchester derby, 4:30 prime time Sunday. I love those fixtures. You know, on a Sunday where it's just like, I love that time. That time slot is probably my favorite time slot.
Oh, honestly, yeah, I do. I love it. I couldn't agree with you more. Usually, that's for me. It's very rare that you don't have a tasty game as the last Sunday game. Yeah. I hate when they put a good game on 12:30 Saturday.
Exactly, that's terrible.
I despise it.
Yeah.
Or
but,
like derbies, like they do at 11 a.m. sometimes. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
But Manchester City gonna be looking to they really need to get a win here, and they usually are quite dominant over Manchester United in these fixtures. I think Haaland is gonna really do a really big number in this game. I think he might get a hat-trick. Not a bold prediction, but I feel like he's just looked so sharp this beginning of the season, be getting so many chances as well. And I feel like against a team like Manchester United, where they do leak a lot of chances, we saw the last game against Burnley.
Right.
How many chances that they will against the Burnley team who aren't really a massive creating force. But yeah, what do you think?
Well, I think one of the interesting things about this round of fixtures is that this is going to be like a baptism of fire, I think, for Manchester United's new goalkeeper, Sen Lemons. They've just brought him in from Royal Antwerp. I checked the data on him. I've done a video on him as well. Like, this guy's shot stopping. If you check the data on his performance last season, shot stop him, he was right at the best. Actually, he was at the top of the pile for all goalkeepers in Europe, actually.
I agree.
But if you look at his career, he's not played senior level for too long. So going from that to now being Manchester United goalkeeper is an amazing opportunity for him.
Yeah.
I see data-wise, I see why Manchester United...
He is quite young. He's only
like 22, I think. Yeah.
So he's young for a goalkeeper. And he has been starting Bayern anyways in the recent games. So I feel like he'll continue with that. I don't
think he could afford that. I think there's
really,
pressure. I think
he has to come in right now.
He's like... To be honest, a goalkeeper was like, it was probably their biggest need even before the season started.
Yeah.
And then you look at the way the season started, it's like, man, every game they've played, you can see a goalkeeper being the issue. So it's like, make the move, man. Like, you know, this is the biggest...
No. They had to do it. They did it. But again, is it what they need right now? I feel like going for like a Emi Martinez or a Donnarumma would have solidified that But again, they don't have Europe. I don't know if they can attract that sort of level of. I don't know. Maybe not. But United, they've attracted so many other players, anyways, like Cunha, Bumo. They're
Yeah,
a
Benjamin
solid. They've
Sesko.
got listen on paper. They've got a solid team. I just don't think Amorim's making sense there. And you have to play, in my opinion, if you're a coach, you play a system that suits your players the most. And playing Bruno in this deep line position in the free formation, or even as one of the tens, I feel like his best position lies somewhere between those two positions. But at the end of the day, he's still performing very well in that deep position. But you want him to
I don't think
be.
he's performing very well.
I think he is. To be fair, in
think-
terms of defensively, he gets about defensively, and he's still what's it called, linking up play. I know he's been not performing to his highest level,
That yes,
but
I
it's
think
you know what I
sometimes
mean.
when he doesn't get going, he really doesn't get going.
Yeah,
He's like sometimes he can be a bit of a pass, and I feel like that's harsh because he's a player who I think gets over criticized. But this season, not so much last season, but this season in that role,
but
next
he
to
always gets on the
Casemiro,
ball though. That's my thing. Like, every time I watch United, he's always trying to get on the ball,
nah,
always trying to do something. You know what I mean?
I think United needed a different profile there.
I know, 100%. I agree
Genuinely,
with you. There's definitely
yeah,
a different profile needed
yeah,
there.
I'm
100%.
with you. Like we said it last week as well. The clock is on. Is
Yeah,
ticking for
yeah,
Amarim
yeah, yeah.
because right now it's like he's trying to find the wrong jigsaw pieces in his
Yeah.
puzzle. You know, he
But
doesn't have the players for that system.
what about thing though as well? What about for City? Guardiola's been having a terrible time of it this beginning of the season. They've lost twice already. Um,
It's true, but I think for Guardiola, where he always has the clear advantage,
of
to me, is
course,
that
I'm not trying to compare the
he's a
two.
football genius.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I'm not trying to compare the two at
yeah,
all. But I'm just
I,
saying there's pressure on Guardiola. It's not Guardiola in terms of his job, but it's pressure on him to get results and turn it around.
yeah.
Obviously, for the sake of City's season.
This is probably the first time he's had some a hurdle, really, in my
Yeah,
opinion. I
I
think
mean
his first
last season as well
yeah.
was the tough one.
But I think people, like even halfway into the season, yeah, I think people had this kind of PTSD from Man City. They're like, you know what? Man City just lost 9 out of 10 games, but they'll still get back. The amount of people that I was hearing saying Man City was still going to get back into the title race, I was laughing. I was like, by October's end, I was like, no, I don't know
No,
what's going on. I don't know what's going on at City. They won't be in the title race this
yeah,
season.
but
Like
no.
they
To
are
be
done.
fair, it's a mad
You
one.
know,
But again, this game,
they
I
might. I
think
think it's a draw. It'll be a draw.
really,
1-1.
I think it comes. I think it comes a bit
Yeah.
too soon for United.
Yeah. I think United they
City,
turn up for these games, man.
but
It,
with City, the two games that they lost, if you look at it against Brighton, against
Tottenham Hotspur.
Spurs, they're two teams that you wouldn't be shocked that City lose to, if you know what I mean. The two
Yeah.
teams that take the game to a team, and they've got a solid structure in place. Both teams.
But bearing in mind,
United don't have that.
yeah, I don't know. But City also got injuries, man. Like,
Yeah.
Cherky's missing. Cunha, I think, actually is going to play in this game. I think
Right.
he missed the last one. But from what I'm looking
He come
at,
off injured, didn't he?
yeah, very early. But I
Yeah.
think he's going to play. I
Yeah.
don't think he was so injured that he would miss this
Ah,
game.
first. But yeah, so you think 1-1?
Yeah, I see it 1-1.
I think
Cunha getting involved.
City.
See it
I
happening.
think City. I think it's 4-1. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's 4-1. I don't know. I just feel like United, especially with this system, it just doesn't make sense to me. But moving on to another system that doesn't make sense to me. Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. Arsenal, man. Arteta, man, he confuses me a bit. Where I look at it and I see their team and I see the quality that they've got, but I don't know, the way that the team's set up, again, very rigid. Again, I said it before. The modern way of playing, this is not. It's not for me. I'm a victim of this as well in terms of the way that Chelsea play. But Arsenal against Forest, it's going to be interesting. Okay, after they've sacked Nuno, it's going to be a tough task going to the Emirates. I don't see anything else but Arsenal win here, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
I could see I'm even thinking, yeah, but even though Forest do have a decent team, I'm even thinking Ange Postecoglou, like I said, I don't see him adapting. I see him from the off. Like, guys, I don't see him radically changing their style of play because there's just not enough time. There really isn't, with guys coming back from international breaks as well. But I don't think he's going to get them set up in the way where they're going to come to Arsenal and get anything other than a loss. Like I said, I don't rate the way he sets up in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I see Forest struggling,
straight off the bat.
Yeah, I see him. So I can see Arsenal winning this 4-0.
Really?
Joffrey is getting involved again.
Wow.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, it's this type of game, isn't it? Your Chris. Even though
Right.
I don't know. Against Murillo and Milenkovic, it depends how high their line is. Um,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
very good centre half pairing.
I think Forest. I don't think Forest will score, but I don't think Arsenal will score a lot either. They don't create much at the minute.
They don't, yeah, but I think this is a game where now with the like I said about baptisms of fire, this is a round where we're gonna see a lot of guys come into teams, and some teams I don't think are gonna look the same. I think Arsenal's one of these teams. Eze starting in this team, I rate him so highly. I would like to see him play where Odegaard plays. I don't want to see him play left wing.
I agree.
But if he has to play left wing, fine. I still think he's effective from there. I think he's gonna help change this team. Arsenal though, even though without Bukayo Saka, they don't score much, in my opinion. I think statistically that is backed. In games he misses, they don't score a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I could see them getting quite a few. Because like I said, Gyökeres as well, he's another player that makes that team different from last season.
Yeah.
Style of football still kind of the same so far, but I could see them being effective, getting some goals.
We'll see. So what you think? 4-0? I'm gonna go 1-0 Arsenal. I think it's just one of those games. But another game which is in London, I think it's gonna be interesting. West Ham versus Tottenham. Saturday 5:30. Spurs looked very shaky in the last game.
Yep. Another one, another good London derby. I
Yeah.
feel like we're getting London derbies every week now.
Yeah.
So far, but
There's a lot of London teams in the Premier
but this is
League,
one of the better ones actually. Spurs and West Ham.
Yeah.
They do not like each other much, and I will say, yeah, this is going to be one where both teams are really going to be up for it. I think there's enough players in both squads that understand that bit of animosity the clubs have.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, I see Spurs winning this one. I think the performance against Bournemouth, who are another team where I'm trying to gauge how good they are as well. But I feel like
I see goals in this game. I don't know why. I see a lot of goals.
I see Spurs winning.
Yeah.
I could see it being another. I don't know why this fixture always screams 3-2 to me.
I was literally about to say that.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking. I can see
honestly.
goals. I think it's 3. I think 3-2 to Spurs. I think that makes sense to be honest.
I think they're gonna win. I think the
I don't know
performance
why.
against Bournemouth
I was
was a
literally
blip.
going to say 3-2 as well. That's weird. But yeah, West Ham, their last performance was good, and I think they
Exactly.
can build on that.
Right after I called them fodder as well.
Yeah,
I had to eat my words.
crazy. Yeah, bro, that was mad. But yeah, that's good for West Ham. But outside of the big six teams, the other fixtures are very tasty as well. Still, Bournemouth against Brighton, both teams looking to play on the front foot. The South Coast clash. It's gonna be very interesting to see what's happening there. I for one think Bournemouth looks so good. I've said it many times on this podcast before. I really rate Raiola. I think he's a top coach, and yeah, in a game like this, Semenyo's gonna eat. I think he gets a goal at least. I see Bournemouth doing these guys. I think 2-1. 2-1. I'm gonna be conservative. 2-1. Brighton is still a good team.
This is I'm trying to think in this fixture last season. I think it was a goal fest for one particular team, but I just can't remember.
I think Bournemouth done them all. I think Bournemouth won like 4-1, was it?
Yeah, honestly, I could for the life of me, I can't remember which team it was. But one of these teams dominated the other. I know, but yeah, I think for me, this is the type of game where both managers are not scared to have their teams playing.
No.
So I'm hoping to see a goal fest, but I don't think there will be. I think this will be another potential draw.
Okay, fair.
1-1 to me.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense as well. Good game, and another good game. Crystal Palace against Sunderland. That's gonna be a big one. To be fair, like for me, last season I had quite a soft spot for Crystal Palace because I had a lot of their players in my FPL team. I had Munoz for quite a long time. I had Mateta. Mateta was one of my favourite players last season because he just kept coming up trumps for me. I brought him in just after he scored against Chelsea last season. And he scored, I think, in every game after that for like 7 in a row. And it was unbelievable. And I was every week just singing that Mateta song. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, crazy. But yeah, and I love Sunderland as well. So it's a tough one for me to see this. But I think Palace looks so good, so solid, great defensively, great going forward. I think they can keep another clean sheet here. And I think they nab a goal, maybe 2. I don't see them scoring a lot because Sarah's out for this game. I think Mateta gets a brace. Palace 2, Sunderland 0.
Yeah, I feel like this one's just gonna be. I think this is gonna be tactical outclass. I think Oliver Gazner, he's in that bracket with Areola for me, where
Yeah,
I think after their job is done at their current clubs, that next sort of bracket of moving to teams that consistently compete in Europe,
yeah,
he could
yeah,
coach there. Obviously, he's a Europa League winning manager as well. So most of the times, I found it hard to bet against Glasner. Five at the back, really solid. He didn't lose Gehi as
yeah,
well.
yeah. That
So
is massive.
right now I'm looking at a team like I don't see Palace losing games easily. So 1-0 to the Palace.
Yeah,
Could
it
see that
makes
being.
sense. It just makes sense. One game which is going to be very interesting, massive storyline with it as well. Everton versus Aston Villa. Jack Grealish returning back home. Um,
Yeah,
it's going to be very interesting to see. It's a tricky away game for Aston Villa, who have not been good of late. Missed the two again with another 2 points last time he played. Ollie Watkins on FPO, he's not been getting any returns.
honest work, honest day's work.
Exactly. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, this game. Ooh, I don't know why I feel like I can see goals here as well, but maybe not. I think this one is a bit of a draw for me. I think 2-2 Desmond. Villa. Yeah. Villa will get their first goals of the season. But they haven't scored yet, have they?
No, they've been struggling. And actually, funny you say that because I was just about to tell you 0-0 for that exact reason.
Really?
I don't think either team is winning, and I don't know what it is yet, but I've never been impressed by a Jack Grealish performance against Villa so far these last few years. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, if it's a psychological thing or not, but I don't feel like he really turns up that way. Even though he's in a system now where he will have more freedom, I don't see it happening. Villa, I think the international break came at the right time for them.
Yeah.
Really in dire form. Emery, I still think is amongst the better managers in the league, but right now, I'm not too sure. But they made some couple good acquisitions on deadline day for where
Exactly.
their squad is.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
got Harvey Elliott on loan, they got Jadon Sancho on
Yeah,
loan.
yeah, yeah. I think it could be
No,
good because they needed somebody on that left, and I
yeah,
think Jadon Sancho is someone who's been a victim of maybe his the way he's been perceived at Manchester United and his stance on not wanting to lower his wages to join anybody else. Which again, think of that what you will. The guy's a good footballer.
yeah.
The guy's a good
I've
footballer.
always been a fan of him. Honestly,
Even last season at Chelsea, I wanted us to sign him permanently if we could get him for that 25 million fee. Would have been brilliant.
I understood. Yeah, the fee would have been fine. I understood Chelsea not paying the wages though. I know for you guys, you got
Yeah,
like a newer
we've got the
wage
straight wage
structure
structure exactly.
under
So
the
he didn't
current
fit into
ownership.
that. So that's the only reason. But I would have taken him back. He was so good for
Yeah.
us last season.
I can't figure out why he's not balling in the Premier League. I loved watching him play in the
He
Bundesliga.
played.
I,
Hey,
I
if you
hated the
watched him play
idea
for us last
of him
season,
going to
if you watched
United.
Chelsea and you watched him play for us last
Yeah.
season, he was really good over
But
a long
I
period.
don't think overall though. The first couple months actually when I was watching Chelsea, I remember that game away to West Ham.
Yeah,
He was cooking,
yeah,
and then he
exactly.
had moments
He
like in
had
the
moments after that, but
you
the
know
issue is with our formation as well. I think where he was playing well early on, you had Cucurella overlapping and provided him with that opportunity to make the 2v1 or 1v1. But with our system where Cucurella was invited more into the midfield or
yeah
playing as the third centre back, Sancho was isolated on the wings a lot of the time. He'd get the ball, and when he goes to take on a man, it's 2v1. So you've got to take on a man and then take on another man. There's no way you're going to get past any of them. So you're going to come inside, you're going to look to offload it. So that's where his effectiveness, I feel like, was a bit stifled. But at Villa, they do have an overlapping left back in Ian Martson and in Luka Dean. They don't play with that inverting left back. Neither of them are inverting profiles, especially Ian Martson. He doesn't play in the midfield. But yeah, I feel like he can. I feel like he can. Sort of people laughing at me for this, and I don't know. Maybe it is going to be a laughable thing. I'm going to go out and say I feel like Jadon Sancho can unlock Aston Villa if he starts this game, or if he can get going soon. I feel like him, Rogers, Watkins, the ultimate light skin trio, they might be able
yeah
to do something.
they might be really good, man. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. Yeah,
So
I do.
so yeah, I feel like 2-2. You said 0-0 should be a tasty. It should be a tasty affair regardless. But moving on to another game that we've got here, Fulham against Leeds. We'll be quick on this one. Fulham against Leeds. Fulham at home. I think Fulham will do the job against these lot. I feel like when like the mid table teams play against the relegation teams or teams that just come up. I feel like sometimes they tend to suffer less than the big teams when they play against them. Do you know what I mean? Because it feels like the teams that just come into the league, they kind of give it a bit more of a go, and they go for the mid table teams more and leave a bit more spaces than when they're playing against the bigger teams where they have to be a bit more compact and more, you know what I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
on the back foot. So for that case, I feel like Fulham might be able to get a couple past Leeds here. You know, we saw Arsenal do them dirty. I feel like Fulham have got the attacking quality to score a couple goals. Josh King might actually get his first goal for real this time.
Yeah, I can see for Fulham, they've got a decent squad. I like Fulham's squad, to be honest with you. They didn't need a lot of surgery this summer. They did get Samuel Chukwueze,
Yeah.
and I think that's a third Nigerian brother
Yeah,
in the squad
which
now.
is going to be
on loan.
interesting when
Yeah.
AFCON comes around. That's going to be very interesting to see what happens because they're going to lose quite a lot of players.
Exactly, it's true. But for the time being, I think they got a solid team. They did end up keeping Rodrigo Muniz. You know, they got Raul Jimenez there. Marcus Silva, he's more than I think Leeds. I'm trying to look at Fulham's team, and I'm like, I don't see where Leeds are gonna capitalize and expose a weakness. Because to me, they don't really have that player who I feel like can take the game by the scruff of the neck, like the Rafinha or Patrick Bamford that first season they got promoted.
Yeah.
I don't really look at that squad and think I can't back Leeds in most matches this season.
No. I feel like Fulham
3-1.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
Leeds could get a goal, but Fulham will get a few.
I agree with that. I think 3-1, 4-1. I'll go with 4-1 to Fulham. But going into our last game, looking forward to this one, to be honest. Newcastle versus Wolves. And the reason I say that is because Ilanga, you know what happened with me and him last time. If you didn't know what happened last episode, then yeah, took a -4 for him to bring him in last week because they were playing against Leeds. He got benched and came on for a 1-pointer, so wasn't great. But against Wolves at home, I hope he starts, and I hope he gets a couple goals. So I'm gonna do this based purely on my hope that Elanga can bag a hat trick. I'm gonna say Newcastle 3, Wolves 1. Wolves haven't looked great, to be honest, and Newcastle they've looked really good, even though they've not been able to score a lot. And they look really good. And now with the new forward signings, Wissa, Voltemada, I know Wissa is definitely a proven Prem player, and I feel like if he comes into this team, he can definitely help them score straight away. So simple one. Don't want to spend too much time on it. I think 3-1 Newcastle.
I think we said in the last pod, Newcastle was experimenting with different formations.
Yeah.
So like I was thinking that I believe we should see that formation again this next game. I think that's what Howe's probably wanted to probably switch to, if not for the Isak saga. So now he's got two strikers where big money spent. Those should be the guys starting moving forward. Walter Mart, Walter Messi, I think he's going to ball in his debut.
Walter Messi.
I rate him actually. The more I see of him, the more I rate him. I don't know if he's worth that price tag yet.
No.
But I do like him. So he'll get involved. I can see Newcastle 2-0.
Will be good to see. But that's our FPL preview. Not FPL preview, Premier League preview. Apologies. And now we're going to be headed into the FPL corner, which right now our teams will be up on screen. I'm going to pull up my team right here, right now, to go through it for the match. And I do have the injured Saar currently in my lineup. He is not going to get replaced by anyone. I did this previously with Cole Palmer. I took the -4 and I learned the harsh way. So if he comes and he doesn't play, of course, then my first bench will come on and I've got Juve sitting there. So he got a 10-pointer for me last time and he didn't come on. I'm hoping this time he gets a 10-pointer and can come on for me. But yeah, Alisson in goal, Munoz, Pedro Porro, and Reece James at the back. I've just got to pray that Reece James starts. I don't know why he didn't. And I'm so annoyed. You know what, yeah? Enzo Maresca, if Reece James doesn't start this game, I'm going to find you. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do. I'm going to find you. Because he didn't start the last 2 games. But was on the bench and came on the last 2 games. Goes away to international duty with England and plays 80 minutes against, who were they? Andorra.
Yep, Andorra.
And he got an assist.
Wouldn't be surprised if he starts against Serbia.
At
the
time you wouldn't be surprised. No. And then he comes back to Chelsea, and what's he going to do? He's going to sit on the bench.
Do you know something though? But this is, I think sometimes people forget, maybe Chelsea fans forget, Maresca's only been there 1 year. And I do think sometimes you don't see it as much, but you get it in football where managers just like their players. Reece James isn't necessarily someone who has been available for so long that Maresca's like, oh, I've tried you
That's not the
many
truth.
times.
He's been available the whole time Russ has been here.
I mean,
Over the last season, he was
what
very
about
available.
the fitness of him? Because I feel like I've even seen him play Caicedo as a right back over
Yeah,
fielding Reece James.
Yeah.
And then I've seen him play Caicedo right back and Reece James midfield.
yeah.
So then what does that tell you about how he rates the players' ability?
He's saying, in my opinion, he's doing that because he feels like right back is a lot more of an industrious position where you have to get up and down, and he doesn't want to put that strain on his body. Whereas if you play in the midfield, it's less of like a, you know what I mean, a full on up down game, especially playing at the base of the midfield, which is what he does when he inverts. I don't know. I don't get it because when we see him playing for England, he's playing as a right back and he's up and down. You saw where he got the cross from. You can't be getting those positions. He created 2 unbelievable chances, actually. There was another cross he put in earlier in the game.
That was.
What Harry Kane should have put in. With a guy who has that kind of quality, what do? You play him in his best position.
Unless you're Enzo Maresca, you play him on the bench.
It's insane. It makes
Honestly,
no
it's
sense.
interesting.
He's playing Malo Gusto, and Gusto, I like Gusto, but he's got nowhere near the quality that Reece James has. We know this. It's just the truth. But yeah, whatever. Reece James, I hope he plays. I went too long on that one. I got Reinders against United, Elanga against Wolves, Wirtz against Burnley. I hope he can do something. Josh King against Leeds at home. This is the game I'll be waiting for. I'm going to actually play it. Hopefully he can score. Haaland is my captain for this week against United. And I've got João Pedro against Brentford away. I've benched my 2 Forest assets against Arsenal away. And Malik Diouf is my first bench. Will, take us through your team, man. What are you thinking?
So at the time of recording, and I have to say that immediately because I've got one that is my first bench option. I just have a feeling he's going to play. I did say earlier on in this episode, I think Matheus Cunha will play his first Manchester derby. I don't know if he's going to start, though. I really don't. And I think with Amorim, to be honest with you, he doesn't have a lot of guys in good form. I don't know if he can afford to bench Amorim for this, Cunha for this type of game. But I'm just waiting for any fitness update, literally as close to the wire as I can. But for now, he's on the bench. I've got Matty Cash on the bench. He's not going to start again for the longest time. The last 2 games, Villa defense just getting absolutely headlocked against any team they played against. And I brought him in after having a decent start, keeping a clean sheet in the start of the season.
Yeah.
Bad decision. Wan-Bissaka, I don't know what to do with him. I think West Ham kept a clean sheet in the last game, but he wasn't involved.
No, he didn't play, yeah.
Last bench player. So for me, I've brought in Enzo Fernandez. You know, he's just someone who, it's like almost regardless of his actual form in the matches, he just pops up with the goals assists.
He does. He's starting to be doing that.
Yeah.
And he arrives in the box, his position in the team.
Honestly, so it's like 22 points in his last 2 game weeks.
Yeah.
So I wanted.
And he's a penalty taker if Cole Palmer doesn't play. So
I wanted some of that. So he's my vice captain. João Pedro, his teammate, is my captain for this game week. And I was annoyed at myself because the last game week I thought, I'm going to captain him. And then I just like, Mo Salah against Arsenal. He loves a goal against Arsenal. Captain him, got absolutely nothing. But Wirtz, I'm sorry, I got to give you a PSA, man. I rate you so highly. I want you to cook, but I don't know if I can keep you in this team because I'm keeping Ekitike in the team, thinking Isak will not be in the team just yet. But
Wirtz's minute seems secure at the minute, man. It seems secure that he's going to be playing there.
Because I'm trying to think, it's because the right back situation. Most our other 2 guys who are actual right backs, they're not fit.
Yeah.
So Bosley's cooking over there somehow, some way. You know, he's got injured on him. So I can see where it's still starting because the only guy who's going to play ahead of him would be Szoboszlai. But I think the manager trusts Wirtz and wants him to cook.
Yeah.
But then there's also the price tag element
exactly,
as well.
And that's pressure as well for him to play. So
yeah, but hopefully Burnley will do it. This time I'm going to double up on my Spurs defense. Did that last week. Bournemouth punished me.
Yeah.
West Ham away. Even though I do think they'll probably concede, but I just can't start Cash. He's annoying me too much.
No.
Crystal Palace away. I think he'll play. Don't know how he'll perform, but he could be all right. Pickford, and then I've got Xhaka in the team as well. So I'm quite happy with these.
So you're not going for Salah against Burnley as a captain?
No. I don't think Liverpool can score a lot.
Wow.
I actually think João Pedro is going to be in the mix. I love the form he's been in.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. He's been so good. And you know what as
he
well?
would be my Premier League player of the month. That's
Yeah.
how good he's been.
Speaking of Premier League player of the month, Erling Haaland absolutely robbed that, didn't he?
They do it though. I think last August. No, he started the season with hat trick after hat trick, but every time it started the season, Haaland is there. So no matter what,
Automatic. Yeah, maybe he's got a clause in his contract or something. But
yeah,
yeah, cool. Sick, man. I'm going for
yes,
Haaland captaincy this week, unless there's a last minute change, which you guys will see. But this week, I thought we'd switch up a little bit and give you guys some tasty content. What we're going to be picking right now is three differentials under 10% ownership on FPL that we think will get the most points this week. So we'll pick three, I'll pick three, and we'll come back next week. We'll review the three that we picked and we'll see who got the most points.
yep.
So yeah,
See
it's a
that?
nice little game to play. I've gone for two guys that are in my team. I've gone for Josh King and Ilanga. And to accompany Josh King and Ilanga, I've gone for Jean-Philippe Mateta, who's shockingly 9.3% owned. So, yeah, Ilanga against Leeds, Ilanga against Wolves, Mateta against Sunderland at home, and Josh King against Leeds at home. So I think those three should be a tasty. I'm expecting three of them combined. I'd say 26 points. Something
Okay.
like that is what I think.
Do
What
you
about
think?
you?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm judging from that. You expect all of them to bang
I
and do
think all of
something.
them will return.
So great minds think alike. You'll be pleased to see. I also think Jean-Philippe Mateta
Nice.
is going to do something. I think that his next 2 game weeks, depending what he does to Sunderland, he could be the next guy that I transfer in. But he's the one guy who's not in my team.
Yeah.
And yeah, under 10% ownership for him. I was so surprised.
Yeah, same.
Genuinely, as soon as I saw him, I was like, "Yep,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
a good
first
one.
guy."
Yeah, yeah.
For me, the other two are guys that I have in my team, and like I just said, one of them I've brought in, Enzo Fernandez. He's got three. Well, even though it's just going to be for this next week, but he's got three fixtures where I don't think Chelsea will struggle in those. So I can see Brentford away, him getting involved, continuing his good form. Like I said, 22 points his last 2 game weeks. Mateus Cunha is my other one. So he is just under 10% owned.
Affairs
And I do actually think, I don't know what it is, he's one of
against
these passionate players
City.
where,
Yikes.
away to City, I think he's going to show up there. I think he's going to rise to the occasion.
Yikes. Yeah,
I'm surprised he's not even
Fairs.
scored yet this season. I thought he's been one
Nah.
of the better United players.
Yeah,
So
that's a big one to
if
be
he
fair, bro.
plays, I think 75% chance of playing
Yeah.
currently. I think he'll do something. I really do.
Sweet, man. Well, that is the FPL corner rounded up. And yeah, you guys make sure to leave your comments if you're here this far. Make sure to leave your comments. Who did you guys captain this week? Who do you think you're gonna captain this week? And then again, make sure you subscribe, guys.
Yes. Please
Yeah,
share
man.
with everyone you know that loves football as well.
Exactly. We appreciate all the effort everyone's been going through so far, all of the love. Man, it's been sick. It's been a great start. But yeah, I had to pull up today, even though I'm dying. You're hearing me die. But you know what? Yeah, we're here for the love of the game. We appreciate you guys. And I've been here, myself, Abs, my boy Will.
Well,
That's the Shin Pad, where we keep it real. And where I always tell you guys at the end of the episode, starting from last episode, yeah, it's a new tradition. Always wear protection. Peace.